Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Xbox Game Pass Hunting, where I find games on Xbox Game Pass that are fun and interesting and kind of get you away from the same old, and also get you more bang for your buck. Admittedly, for this first Xbox Game Pass Hunting, it's less hunting, is more like the fish just jumped in the boat, but nevertheless, we'll be talking about Hades. And if Percy Jackson had a grip on you like it had on me in my adolescence, this is the one for you. Before I kind of explain what Hades is as a game, I have to explain what genre it's a part of. Hades is a roguelike game, or I like to call it the Edge of Tomorrow type games, when you have to beat the entire game in one go. Now don't be alarmed, that doesn't make the game unenjoyable, because every time you die, the story progresses, you get new dialogue, and other events happen in game. So just get used to the death screen, because you'll be seeing it a lot, but I promise it's all fun. Also, the journey is never the same, because another feature in the rated dungeons you navigate through. So no two runs are the same, and it adds variety and keeps you on your toes. Next, let's get into the story. The story here is that you're controlling Hades' son Zagreus, and he is sick and tired of living under his parents' roof like a college student during winter break. So he decides to leave the Underworld. And of course, Hades does not want to let him. So he has to fight his way out. This game packs a variety of weapons that all have their own special unlocks that you get by progressing through the game. They have a spear, a sword, a shield, gauntlets, a bow, a gun. Yes, it's called a rail, but it's essentially a gun. And like I mentioned before, all these weapons have their own special unlocks, and there are also one-time power-ups that you can pick up through the dungeons that drastically change how the weapon is used. Next, the abilities. Of course, the gods of Mount Olympus are going to intervene because that's what they do. They intervene in each other's plans and affairs. And I did mention before, if you enjoyed the Percy Jackson series, this is right up your alley, due to the slew of great dialogue between you, themselves, and other NPCs. But since this is Hades' domain, they interact with you by sending down boons. Boons are collectibles that grant you special abilities. They are random and vary in rarity, but they correspond to whatever Olympian sent it down. For example, this game has to do with a lot of dashing around from any enemy. Ares has a special dash that leaves a storm ablaze from wherever you dash from. So that's just an example of one of the cool abilities you get while playing. And after a couple runs, of course, you'll see which boons fit your playstyle the most. For me, I like Artemis because the crit damage and I love big numbers. As I mentioned before, you do a lot of dashing. Hades is a fast-paced hack and slash game, and you just dash from enemy to enemy. With those unique abilities that are given from the Greek gods, it creates a pretty addictive gameplay loop because you never know what you're going to get each time. And speaking of gameplay, Hades makes sure every playthrough is pretty unique, and you have to make hard choices each time. From which boon to pick, what weapon you choose, each room you clear, you're given an option to next room you're going to go into, and it shows you what your reward would be if you finish said room, which keep the game fresh and fun. For example, do I want to go to the store where Kyron the boatman can give me unique items and abilities that I can buy with coin, or do I want to go get the centaur heart to up my health I already have because I know I have a boss fight coming? Those are just an example of some of the choices you have to make while playing through. I mentioned Chiron, and there's a slew of other NPCs that you will find while fighting through the Underworld. And also, like I keep mentioning the Percy Jackson series or Greek mythology in general, you'll see some very familiar faces, and the lightheartedness of it also helps. The more you play, the more the world of Hades shifts, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at that. Give it a go, and you know exactly what I mean. So lastly, what's the pool? This is a question I always ask myself when playing games. What keeps me coming back? For me, it's the Dark Souls or Bloodborne sense of accomplishment when you finally figure out a boss's pattern, and you can dispatch them pretty quickly, kind of saying, I'm the boss now, actually. At its core, Hades is straight up action. If you're looking at a game to just pick up and play with some challenge, this is the one for you. But warning, if you don't like losing, this game can get very addictive very fast. One more try turns into 5 very quickly, especially when you consistently start getting to higher levels. But if you don't have time to die over and over again, you can simply turn on God mode in the settings, where you get stronger after each death if you want to clear the game a little quicker. And there's no shame in that, because at the end of the day, games are all about having fun. But thanks for coming to this episode of Xbox Game Pass Hunting. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch at Incredible12 if you enjoyed yourself. If there's more games on Xbox Game Pass that you want me to bring light to, let me know. I'll leave you some gameplay at the end so you can see what the game is like, and see you next time.
Rematch.
The monster has returned in a vainglorious attempt to wrest the title champion from me.
They couldn't care less about your title. Though, shouldn't you share it with the Minotaur? He's more than half the reason you've been in any trouble.
You'll not drive a wedge between us, fiend. Asterius and I share a fraternal bond forged from the strongest bronze, nay, adamant. But you have caused us both offense, so die. Monster, your physical prowess leaves much to be desired. You're mine! A gracious audience! Now, fiend! Keep cheering, Lord Dionysus, lend me your power!
I guess they're testing me.
Now, Hellspawn. Stand and fight and quit it with your riding there, Hellspawn!
Who's champion now? Must be something I can do with